No, he can, he can tell her and swear her allegiance or,
Yeah, make her sign a loyalty oath.
Yeah, silence, you know what I mean? No, but he should have told his mother.
Well, I think that guy, the major bad guys in American history, as far as I'm concerned, include J. Edgar Hoover, James Jesus Angleton, and Ronald Reagan. Those people really impress me.
Ronnie used to be, excuse me, I still have the end of the virus. Ronnie used to be the president of my union, the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah,
and the story has never been told, about the deals that, there's a book that you can't even get in Hollywood that was written not by a radical, but by a guy who wrote for the New York Times on the Hollywood scene, and he wrote about Ronnie, MCA, and the mob.
I got it.
I know, but you try and get it now, and you'll liable to get arrested.
Yeah, well, they'll probably tell you, there's a paper shortage.
Yeah, I mean, that's, and Ronnie was a whole part of that thing. But it really is, see, I'm a kind of person. As a president, you can't judge him because if truth be told, and probably will be 50 years from now, but not because he's still alive and he was at a baseball game or a hockey game or something. I saw him the other night. He wasn't all there during his entire presidency.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean mentally. I'm dead serious.
He was being the great communicator, but the evil creeps that he brought into
Washington, he was like kind of propped up, like a marionette, Frank. And and it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I'm not going to judge somebody who has cerebral palsy because he has poor elocution,
And what's amazing, Al and Frank, is that the people realize this, but they still like him.
That's absolutely.
Well, he is a great communicator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has that swaggle, and people like him. They genuinely like him.
It's true. But, so I'm not going to, say that, when he was the president of my union and, wasn't much of a president. Then, of course, he was the governor of the state when I was there and when you were there, Frank.
Yeah.
So, but that's, that's like kicking a dead horse.
Yeah, well, I'm just making a statement about my own personal feelings in this regard. Those three people probably did a lot to harm this guy.
Would you say hello if you ran into him at the baseball game?
Would I say hello to him? No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh.
And if I did, do you think that he would say hello back? Not likely.
Oh, I think he would. Because I don't think I don't even think he would know who you. He'd probably think you're Bronchi Billy Anderson.
Yeah, he wouldn't know. I don't think he'd know who Frank Zappa is.
I've heard stories from people that there were days that he didn't know who his wife was.
How many people, 83 years young, like you, Grandpa, even know who Frank Zappa is? Frank, what you got to understand is, a couple years ago,
when Frank Zappa was just about making it on the scene with the mother's invention, I was in California.
I know. And, the amazing...
Frank, when did you make your first recording?
In 64.
In 64?
Yep.
In 64, I was filming at Universal, the Munsters.
And he was into Zappa. He toured with AC/DC 3 years ago, Frank?
Ooh, I bet that was fun.
Al Lewis.
Something I got to tell you. They were nice people. I did 6
I
dates
like your
with them.
band.
They were really, really nice. Really nice people to me. I mean, maybe, they thought, this old man, he's liable to fall off the stage or something, so let's not, But they were really nice. Really nice.
On Frank's first album, there's a song called Trouble Every Day.
Uh-huh.
And if you listen to it today, Al, and you can grab the CD when you get a chance to listen to it. If you listen to it today, it sounds like 1993, Los Angeles. Uh-huh. It hits it to the T.
Yeah.
If we get a chance, maybe we'll play that later on.
Frank, where were you living in 64?
In Los Angeles.
Were you up in Topanga?
No, I never lived in Topanga.
No.
It was too frightening out there.
Yeah, in those years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not a commune kind of a guy, if you know what I mean.
Let me ask interject one question here and get your response from both of you before we take our break and have to let you go, Al. What is your response? And Frank, you start. Let's look at this Republican backlash against Clinton. Now, Clinton's made some mistakes. There's no denying the fact. But let's look at people like Jesse Helms and Senator Graham and Doyle and the Rush Limbaugh phenomena that's no president ever had to face somebody on national worldwide radio every day and television every day bashing him. Some of it may be deserved, but he has to put up with this day in and day out. What do you feel? Is this going to damage the presidency in any way, or do you think that people will see through it?
First of all, as long as that there is somebody who has large-scale airtime doing that kind of the kind of bashing that Rush Limbaugh does, and I've watched some of it. It's so puny and it's paltry and it's ludicrous. Forget about what the mistakes are that Clinton makes. The way in which he is handled in the context of the Limbaugh show not only makes Clinton look smaller, but it makes the whole idea of the U.S. presidency look smaller, and it just cheapens the whole thing. And I do think that it's going to be harmful, and the only way to counteract it is if he comes up with some kind of a public relations scheme that will get a more positive image of himself out there. And maybe that's why he hired David Gergen.
Al, what do you think?
Well, I don't think Clinton made mistakes. I have had no great disappointments with Bill Clinton. I didn't expect anything different or better. I've lived through a lot of presidents. I think that Clinton is there because the boys in the back room put him there, and he will survive till the next election. And the mistakes that he made is like somebody not bringing an eraser to the test. I mean, he hasn't done anything, and that's not really a mistake. I mean, with this lady, with Lanny, with the gays, with the health plan, he hasn't done a thing. Not that I expected him to. I didn't. I voted for him, but I didn't expect. He's a Democratic, as far as I'm concerned, hack politician. And he wouldn't be there if he wasn't there. When was there? I cannot think in my memory when there was a president who didn't take orders from the big boys. I can't remember when. Somebody tell me. I can't remember.
That's a very good point.
So I'm not disappointed. I'm rooting that we get a health care system for the millions of people who don't have it, and I'm rooting that this absolutely insane, ridiculous. God knows how many gays got killed in the Civil War, the War of 1812, the First World War, the Second World War. I mean, so they need some kind of a thing that they can go in. Good Lord, they're buried in Flanders Field. I mean, this is totally insane, and Americans participate in this discussion. Should they be in or should they not be in?
They're already in.
I mean, they're dead. My God, they died in Korea and Vietnam, gays. I mean, I don't understand the infantile.